I still remember the sound. The ring didn't just hit the floor. It clinked, rolled in slow motion, then stopped right between us, glinting under the kitchen light like it was mocking me. "I miss being single," she said, arms crossed, eyes sharp with that cruel calm only people who've already decided to leave can have. Her name was Olivia. We'd been married for 6 years. And in those 6 years I thought we'd built something unbreakable. It was a Thursday evening. One of those long quiet ones when the world slows down and you finally notice what's missing. I came home early, hoping to surprise her with dinner. Instead I found her already dressed up. Makeup perfect, perfume hanging in the air like a stranger's presence. "Going somewhere?" I asked, trying to keep it light. She didn't even look at me. "Yeah, out with friends." "You don't have to wait up." That's how it started. A dozen small dismissals. A dozen cracks I pretended not to see. I told myself it was stress, burnout, maybe the routine wearing us down. But deep down I knew. I'd see the way her phone would light up, and she'd tilt the screen away. How her laughter came too easily when she texted. A laughter that had disappeared when we spoke. That night I tried to talk to her. I told her we'd been distant. That I missed her. That I wanted to fix things. She sighed, rolled her eyes and said, "Not everything needs fixing, Daniel. Maybe I just want to breathe. Maybe I'm tired of pretending this is the life I wanted." Her words sliced deeper than she knew. I asked, "What are you saying?" That's when she took off her wedding ring, looked me dead in the eye and said, "I miss being single." Then she threw it. For a few seconds I couldn't move. The room felt heavy, suffocating. I didn't yell. I didn't chase her. I just stared at the ring on the floor. A symbol of promises we'd both failed to keep. She left that night, packed a small bag and slammed the door behind her like she was freeing herself from a cage. I sat in that silence for hours, staring at the dent her ring had left on the tile. It was small, almost invisible. But I felt it. Because that dent, that tiny mark, was the exact shape of what was left of us. Days turned into weeks and I didn't hear from her. At first I thought she just needed space, that maybe she'd come home once she realized freedom wasn't what she thought it was. But then the rumors started. Friends whispered about seeing her out late with a man named Tyler. Someone she'd met at her new job. A creative type, they said. The kind who called marriage a social contract for the weak. It wasn't the cheating that broke me. It was the laughter in the photos that surfaced on social media. The same laugh I hadn't seen in years, now shining for someone else. She looked weightless, unburdened, like I'd been the weight all along. I tried to stay calm. I focused on work, on the gym, on anything that kept me from scrolling. But one night I opened her Instagram. And there it was, a photo of her and Tyler at a rooftop bar. Her hand on his chest, his arm around her waist. The caption read, "Finally living again." My name wasn't mentioned, but it didn't have to be. Every word, every smile in that picture was her saying, "You were never enough." I didn't text her. I didn't confront her. I called my lawyer. You see, when we got married, I'd added Olivia as co-owner of a business I'd built before we even met. A home renovation company I started with my brother. It was doing well, and she'd been the one managing finances for the past year. I trusted her completely. But trust doesn't survive betrayal. I asked my lawyer, Mark, to quietly review the accounts. 3 days later, he called me with a tone I'll never forget. "Daniel, you might want to sit down," he said. Turns out, Olivia had been transferring money, small amounts at first, but enough to add up, into an account under her maiden name. Over $30,000 gone. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. In fact, she laughed. "Oh, please," she said. "You'll survive. You always do. Think of it as my severance package." That was the last time I saw her. Standing in that restaurant parking lot, arms crossed, smirking like she'd already won. I turned to leave, but before I did, I told her something I knew she wouldn't understand yet. "You're right," I said. "I'll survive. But you won't." She didn't take it as a threat. She took it as bitterness. But it wasn't either. It was a promise. One she wouldn't see coming until the day my lawyer called her instead of me. 2 weeks later, Olivia called me, voice shaking but still trying to sound composed. "Daniel," she said, "I just got a call from your lawyer. What is this about asset fraud? He's saying I could face charges." I didn't respond right away. I just listened to her panic. The same woman who had looked at me with that smug, detached smile now sounded small-cornered. You shouldn't have touched what wasn't yours, I finally said. Every transaction you made was recorded. Every dollar tracked. You didn't just walk out of a marriage, Olivia. You walked into a felony. She tried to talk her way out of it. It was our money. I helped you with that business. You helped me manage it, I corrected. You didn't build it. You didn't stay up till 3 a.m. trying to make payroll. You didn't take out the loans in your name. I did. You were a part of the story, not the author. Silence. Then the sound of her quiet crying through the phone. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said weakly. I just wanted to feel like I had something of my own. That's the thing about greed, I said. It always convinces you you're taking what you deserve, right up until the consequences arrive. The charges went through. My lawyer didn't back down. And when the police finally called her in for questioning, Tyler's name came up too. Turns out he'd helped her move some of the money. Maybe she thought love could shield her from accountability, that he'd protect her. But when the officers showed up at his apartment, Tyler folded in minutes. He gave them everything: emails, screenshots, account numbers. To save himself, he destroyed her. The day of her arrest, I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel vengeful. I just felt done. She had wanted freedom. Now she had it, in the form of a cold interrogation room and a lawyer she couldn't afford. Weeks later, when the storm settled, I went back to that same rooftop bar where her picture with Tyler had been taken. I ordered a drink, sat by the edge, and just breathed. The city lights flickered below me. Thousands of stories unfolding. Lies being told, hearts breaking, people pretending to be happy. That's when I realized something simple but powerful. Revenge doesn't heal you. It just restores the balance. And sometimes that's enough. I raised my glass to the night sky. Not for her, not for what was lost, but for what was finally over.